1077 GNA, Albany's #1 for new country. I'm Jess, and I'm here with Riley Green, who's performing at SPAC tonight. Welcome to SPAC.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me.
I'm so excited to see you perform. You just had, we've had a couple EPs, and your full debut album is coming out at the end of this year?
That's right, yeah. So I put out a lot of music even before signing a record deal, and the really cool thing about putting a full album out is like it makes it seem like it's a real thing now, you know, and everybody gets to see an entire body of work and kind of, you know, what we've been doing over the last year since I signed a record deal with Big Machine.
So is there anything you can tell us about the album? Like name, date, entire track listing if you want. That's cool too.
I don't know if I have all that information. I do know there'll be 5 songs on the record, and it's there's 2 or 3 of them that I've never even played out.
Oh wow!
You know, it's this era of social media. Usually you can play a song and there'll be 10 videos on YouTube the next day. But some of these songs are brand new, so it'll be cool to see get the opinion of fans on it when it comes out.
Sure. And you just had a recent EP, which like a little over a month ago, and I personally, from a personal note, have to thank you for the song "Numbers on the Cars." It is amazing. I lost my grandmother about 5 years ago on Wednesday to Alzheimer's.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, that's probably the coolest thing to me, being involved in the music business, I guess, is a songwriter side of things, and a song like that I don't think will ever be a hit song on the radio, but people that can relate to it can really relate to it, you know. And it's a specific song kind of about my family, but it's pretty cool to hear people's stories and and how it kind of touches them.
And I think just the way you explained it, because something with Alzheimer's is a lot of people, unless you've lived it, don't really understand what it's like. And I think when listening to that, I mean, my grandmother, it was music, not car racing.
It's if people come up to me after shows, the first time I played it was in Atlanta at a bar called Eddie's Attic, and I'd just written it, finished it in the green room. And this lady comes up just bawling her eyes out after the show, and it was her aunt, and it was sewing or whatever it was, you know, and mine was NASCAR and my granddaddy. Right. So it's cool how you kind of make it your own, you know.
Right. And another song is I Wish Grandpas Never Die, which is another one that made me cry. I listened to it last night again, and it made me cry because I think timing. If you came like a couple of months ago and it wasn't like a week.
I'm sorry. I'll call and ask you before I write a song that's emotional.
But just to hear how much of a relationship you had with your grandfather, and I can relate to that with my grandmother. Is there a memory with your granddad that you want to share with us?
Oh, there's a ton of them. I was just telling some of the guys on the bus yesterday that I remember getting my granddaddy Buford a computer because he wanted to be able to watch videos on YouTube. He didn't know that you could like look up Hank Williams singing or Merle Haggard, so I got him a computer and like steps on how to turn it on and wrote it all down. He would practice trying to get on the internet, and he called me one day and asked if he needed the printer to get on the internet and listen to music, and I was like, you know what, it's just past your time, it's not going to work, you know. But
you're not going to need to print anything.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get this figured out.
But a lot of country artists write like very emotional songs, but what made you write about something like Alzheimer's that a lot of people don't usually do?
I wrote that song several years ago, actually, and it was long before my record dealer moving to Nashville, and it was really just, that's what I was living, you know, that day. My granddaddy is a huge inspiration, part of that song, but it was his brother that actually got Alzheimer's, and I would go meet up. We had this place called Green Store right by my house, and all the old men go over there and play dominoes in the morning, about 5:30 in the morning. And I was building houses at the time, so we'd get up and go over there and kind of just cut up, and he was always the loudest one. And he just got quieter and quieter, you know, and eventually I saw it happen, and I put my granddaddy kind of in mind and just tried to tell a story about, you know, how I felt about it.
Yeah, and you did, as I said, from personal experience, you did a perfect job. It's great to be able to have someone put my feelings into words too. So I appreciate that.
I wrote a lot of songs growing up in college about Mountain Street, which is a road that went through Jacksonville, you know, where I played ball at, and everybody's got a Mountain Street. It's just called something different, you know. So I write these songs that seem really specific to my life, but people make it about their own life.
It's cool. We're talking to Riley Green, who's here tonight with Chris Lane and Brad Paisley. Now, to change it, make a little more upbeat of a conversation. You were on a reality show before, right?
Equally as sad, yeah.
Okay, maybe it's not a different change.
I was on a show called Redneck Island, which
it sounds fun though.
Yeah.
It's okay. I really wanted to know if you could be on a reality show now, which one do you think you'd be on?
I don't know if there's enough prize money to get me back on one. I'm really not a reality show kind of guy. Like, they called me about being on the show. I met a guy in Florida at playing a show of mine, and he called me and was like, "Man, do you like this show? Would you like to be on it?" I've never seen it before, you know.
Sure.
But I figured if they mentioned that I played music on there and I didn't act like an idiot, that it'd probably help a little bit. And I'm sure it did in some way.
Sure.
So, but I don't know that I would go back on another one.
As long as you didn't say Live PD. That one made me nervous. Do you know that show?
I've been on that show.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
That's real.
That is real.
All you gotta do is get arrested to be on that
Exactly.
one. Right? Yeah.
You have to get arrested.
I probably got 2 or 3 episodes on there.
You have to get arrested like in those 8 places.
Oh yeah, well they probably don't film that in Jacksonville, Alabama.
I don't think so. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me. Again, thank you for your songs and again putting my thoughts into words. And we can't wait to hear you perform tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's 107.7 GNA.